Diego Chargers at home against the L.A. Raiders. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann on the call from the Murph. Gentlemen.
Chris, thank you very much. And we have a sellout crowd of 62,000 at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. A playoff atmosphere for a showdown in the AFC West between the Los Angeles Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. The AFC West has really turned into a battleground. By winning this afternoon, Kansas City has taken over first place, pending Denver's game tomorrow night. San Diego needs a win to keep pace. The Raiders need a win to stay alive. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. The Raiders have won 5 of 7 games after an 0-4 start. They've been solid on defense all year long. The problem has been on offense with personnel changes, controversy, and lack of production. And Joe Theismann, this team has too many good football players to be 5-6.
They really do, Mike. You know, you look at the long history of the Raiders, and they've won when their quarterback has made plays. After a 0-2 start, Jay Schrader was benched for Todd Marinovich. Now 7 games later, he's back. He's played consistent football the last couple weeks, and that's really what the Raiders haven't got out of their quarterback position. Now, tonight, if the Raiders are going to win, they're going to have to do 2 things. They're not going to have to turn the football over. That's the first thing. And secondly, they're not going to try and have to force the big plays that are a staple of their offense.
San Diego, the hottest team in the conference, winning 6 of its last 7. The defense has been terrific, but the winning streak did not start until the offense came together.
Well, it really did. Ross will tell you that Stan Humphries is a big reason why the offense has gelled. For the first time since Dan Faust has been a Charger, they have a quarterback who can lead the offense and who knows how to win. Now, he's brought an attitude from Washington and transplanted it here in San Diego. And his teammates believe that they can win. It's interesting, when you talk to his teammates, this Raider game used to be for pride. Not anymore. This game has a purpose.
Bobby Ross in his first year trying to take the Chargers to the playoffs for the first time in a decade and become the first team to make the playoffs after an 0-4 start. Art Shell trying to overcome the same terrible start in his first 2 full years. Shell has won a divisional championship and made the playoffs twice. The Raiders have dominated the series between these 2 teams on the West Coast, but this is the first time in 10 years it has meant as much to the Chargers. For a change, this game means more than pride. Here's Gil Bird on tonight's importance of the game with the Raiders.
It is probably the biggest game that I've been associated with since I've been with the Chargers.
Murphy Stadium filled to capacity. 2 teams in the AFC West trying to stay alive for the playoffs.
You know, Mike, the Raiders are going to receive the football, but I believe that this is a game where the Raiders have to be very... They pretty much had their way with the Chargers over the past 5 or 6 years. Now, it's up to Art Shell to be able to convince his football team. This is not the old Charger football team that we're used to playing against, guys. These guys are good, and you better go in with that kind of an attitude.
Well, Ronnie Lott said much the same thing when we talked to him the other night. He said earlier in the year people didn't respect the San Diego Chargers. I respect them, and the whole team better have. Bobby Ross, an excellent college coach in his first year as a pro head coach, and he has a bright future because of his attention to detail. John Carney will kick it off, and for the Raiders, Alexander Wright and Napoleon McCallum, 89 and 41 respectively, wait at the 2-yard line. sailing kick right from the 5. He's a speed burner. Never had a chance to get stopped at the 12. The Raider offense, Jay Schroeder has regained the starting quarterback spot for Los Angeles. He was very good in last week's win against Denver. Eric Dickerson had his first 100-yard game of the season last week. The number 2 all-time rusher in the NFL should go over 13,000 yards tonight. Up front, Steve Wisniewski, the youngest starter, may be the best. He's an outstanding run blocker, almost as good in pass protection. The San Diego defense lost left end Bert Grossman. He has 2 sprained ankles, so he will not play tonight. Dickerson across the 15, stumbles out to about the 18-yard line. The Charger defense has simply been superb. Switching to the 4-3 puts Leslie O'Neal at defensive end, where he has 9.5 sacks, number 5 in the conference. Junior Seau may be the best inside linebacker in the game. He has all the tools to be an all-pro through the turn of the century. Gil Byrd, the Pro Bowl last season, a long overdue honor. He has 41 career interceptions. 2nd and 3 for the Raiders. Smith in front of Dickerson. Dickerson slips the tackle, has a first down, knocked out at the 25. Jay Schroeder, as you said earlier, Joe, has regained the starting spot, and I think we both agree that Jay Schroeder has matured an awful lot, and this it was really necessary that he be mature to go through it.
It really is. It's a very difficult situation to be replaced, but how he stayed in the game is he continued to help Todd Marinovich on the sidelines. So he never got away from it, feeling that he'd have to be ready when the opportunity came.
And Marinovich has dropped down to the 3rd quarterback. The man beside him, number 11, Vince Evans, is the backup now. Dickerson, 3rd straight time. And pounds his way out to the 35-yard line. People forget Dickerson is a big back, 220 pounds.
He's not only big, Mike, but when you get a fullback like Steve Smith leading the way, watch him on number 35, watch him on Junior Seau. Takes him high so that Seau can't get his hands over him. That's a big key when you're filling a hole, but you've got to be able to drive the linebacker back. You can't let him stalemate you in the hole.
Gain of 9 for Dickerson. Seau, they try to move him around, just a sensational defensive player. Dickerson. As long as it works, you keep doing it. And Dickerson is just pounding away at the San Diego defense, needing only 48 yards to become the 2nd man ever to get the 13,000. Already has 30 on 4 carries.
You know, when we talked to him last night, I asked him, what are the most carries you had? He said, I had 22 in game 1. That's the most I've carried this year. If he can continue like this, now they've usually to a rotational back system, but I can't believe Art Shell would be inclined to try and take Eric Dickerson off the field.
Carried 4 times, once for 6, once for 7, 1 for 8, 1 for 9. Play action by Schroeder. Nice throw, Willie Gault. Couldn't keep his balance, went out of bounds at the 29. Well, you knew it was only a matter of time.
Jay is not the most patient individual, as he never has been. But it was interesting about that throw. What is if you run the ball, you start to gain the linebackers' respect. They have to commit to the run first. The linebackers get frozen. Excellent job by the front 5, giving him a nice hole to step into. You see how he steps into the ball? That's when Jay Schroeder is most effective. That's a great throw. Plummer was right on Gault's hip pocket, and he got it in there.
In the last couple of weeks, he has had many great throws. Another first down, Raiders. Back to the bread and butter, Dickerson. Back only gets a couple this time. And this is against the number 1 rush defense in the National Football League. Floyd Fields and Blaze Winter made the tackle.
Of course, the architect of San Diego's defense is now Bill Arnsparger, who very seldom will blitz, loves to play zone defenses and create problems for quarterbacks. And believe me, I went up against him in the Super Bowl when he was at Miami. He will create problems if you let and make the quarterback throw the football.
Bobby Bell, he has an uncanny ability to know what the next play is going to be. 2nd and 8. Four-man rush, and that pass for Tim Brown is wide. Arnsparger left football as a coach to become the athletic director at Florida for 5 years. When Bobby Ross got a phone call, he thought Arnsparger was recommending someone else. He recommended himself.
This is a man who really wanted to get back in the game. He had some opportunities this year, but now he felt it was time to get ready. It's a very simple system that he teaches. He allows his athletes to play as athletes. He tries to prepare them, put them in the right situation, and then just lets them play.
3rd and 8. This front four has had a lot of sacks this year. Schrader, short to Brown. That will be about 2 yards short of a first down. And Stanley Richard, the free safety, made the stop.
Boy, has he come on. Stanley Richard, Floyd Fields, the two safeties for the Chargers. You know, they've talked about, this isn't a bad division when you talk about safeties, Mike. I mean, you've got Smith and Atwater in Denver. These two guys feel like, hey, why can't we be in that class? Let's go out and play that kind. Let's make some hits and make some plays so that people start talking about us like they talk about those Denver safeties.
Indianapolis quarterback Jeff George said you don't need any defensive backs with their front. Jager is on to try the field goal. It's blocked. Picked up and run back by Floyd Fields. And Kevin Murphy was the man who blocked it, the 7-year man out of Oklahoma. First quarter, Kevin Murphy with the block of the attempted field goal that has us in a scoreless tie, and the special teams for the Chargers steps up big. San Diego with its first position. Harmon and Bucks, the running backs behind Stan Humphries. First down pass is complete. Harmon out of the backfield. He has had a sensational year doing that. Let's go back to the block kick and see how Murphy got in there.
Well, what he does, Kevin Murphy right here, number 58, he's going to shoot the gap between the guard and tackle and just get up inside. All you have to do is get about 3 or 4 yards penetration and then leap. The ball comes out low anyway. An excellent job of knocking it back.
San Diego running a no-huddle offense. 1st and 10, Chargers 49. But nailed at the line of scrimmage, and it was outside linebacker Aaron Wallace. Stan Humphries is the quickness and power. Humphries on 2nd down throws the out. Nate Lewis with the catch, forced out of bounds by Wallace at the Raider 42. How about this hurry up?
Well, what it basically is doing is it's forcing the Raiders to keep their personnel on the field. What you do in a hurry up is you make the defense play basic defenses. They don't have time to communicate the calls in the huddle. It makes it difficult for the defensive line to make communicating calls. It makes it difficult for the secondary guys to be able to communicate with one another.
But keep in mind, when the offense substitutes, they have to give the defense a chance to substitute. That's what happened on the last play. 3rd and 3. Humphries with good time. That may have been tipped, and it's incomplete. Intended for Lewis down at the 20, and it looked like one of the defensive linemen got a hand on it.
Number 75, Howie Long, having a great season. Uses the club, keeps pushing it up the field. He's double teamed. That's an excellent job by Howie Long. He feels the pressure, so he says, all right, I'm going to settle 3 yards away, read the quarterback's release, jump up. That's one of the great, Howie Long's just a great defensive lineman. That's one of the elements of intelligence that he uses.
John Kidd will try the pooch punt. Very high. Tim Brown signals the fair catch and will make it at the 15-yard line. A punt of only 27 yards, but he did his job. Got it inside the 20. No score from San Diego, the Raiders and the Chargers. 0-0 first quarter from San Diego. Charger defense against the rush that's been terrific. Only 61 in the opening game for the Chiefs. The Broncos had only 64. The Steelers with Foster could manage only 67. The Oilers and the Seahawks both went over 100. Then it was back under 100. The Colts under 40 both times that they played. The Chiefs back over 100, and finally a week ago, the Browns and then the Bucks with a season high 113 yards. Tonight so far for the Raiders, 5 carries, 32, all Dickerson. Slam down for a yard this time, and that's more what the San Diego fans have come to expect. Of course, it does not help them that Grossman is not in there tonight.
No, and they have to go with Mims at the defensive end position after he has finally gotten used to playing the defensive tackle spot.
There's Bert Grossman, has 2 bad ankles, 4.5 sacks this year, and they have done it with the front 4. They don't blitz very much at all, and there is Mims, a sensational pass rushing season with 8 sacks, and we'll find out tonight how well he can play the run. Schrader with a 3-step drop and guns it complete. That will be a first down out to 26. Tim Brown made the tackle, and that was a bullet. And that's what Tim Brown is effective at doing, catching the short, crisp passes. Willie Gault's their deep guy. Mervin Fernandez goes over the middle. Watch this, 5 steps, plant, come to the post. Now protect yourself. There's a great catch. I mean, you have no idea how hard that ball's coming out of Schrader's arm. 4th year, rounding back into shape, becoming the threat that he used to be as a rookie. Dickerson behind Smith. Got some help from the corner as Sean Van Horst came up and Junior Seau made the tackle.
In on the tackle, number 25, Sean Van Horst. Pick up of 6 yards.
Eric Dickerson being used here in the first quarter. Sort of the workhorse. Doesn't get a whole lot of attention, though, in the second half. They've had a rotating system as far as back goes. There you see the first half production, 406 yards, and only 39 rushes in the second half. That's through a season.
7 carries, 39 yards here in the first period. Here's the 8th carry. Chris Mims in on the stop, bottom of the pile, number 94. Now, Art Shell was explaining to us why he went to the rotation that he did. Well, Dickerson starting the game, Bell coming in later in the game, Allen used as a 3rd down receiver.
And basically, we really have to talk about Dickerson and Bell as far as the running game goes. He feels like that Dickerson, having the defenses chase him around the field, will tire him out. Now you bring in a 250 or 260-pound running back and let them try and tackle him when they're tired. It makes sense, except when Eric is rushing so well, why do you take him out?
Marcus Allen is in on 3rd and he'll get a carry, runs into his own man, fights for the first down, and it looks like he has it. Marcus Allen has been more outspoken this year about his role negatively than I have ever heard him. He has been the good soldier throughout his career. He is not a happy player right now.
Well, he's not happy because he's only being used in 2 specific situations. This situation, short yardage and goal line. And then he's also being used as a 3rd down receiver. But there you see, he's a guy who wants to play football. There's something you haven't seen time out of Marcus Allen this year, a smile. He's just not been happy because he's not getting playing time.
Dickerson. Nice move to get away from the first man and then powers his way for another 9 yards up to the 47-yard line.
Eric Dickerson.
Floyd Fields had to make the stop, and Dickerson is hot early.
Interestingly enough, what they're doing is they're running at Junior Seau. Now, this was a philosophy we had in Washington and the way we treated Lawrence Taylor. You don't want to run away from the great young speed guy. You want to run at him. And there you see what's happening. They're running to the left side behind Wilkerson and Wisniewski, figuring that they're outmanned a little bit. They can muscle him off the ball.
And Eric Dickerson has just gone over 13,000 yards. Walter Payton, the only other player ever to do it. And about 5 more into San Diego territory. Seau makes the tackle this time. 10 carries in the first quarter for Dickerson. We have 4:14 to go.
We talked to Bill Arnsparger, Mike. He said that he will only blitz maybe 4 or 5 times a game. I think this would be a good opportunity somewhere in this series to blitz, not to put pressure on Schrader, but to fill the gaps and try and stop the running game.
Of course, the last time they ran 4 plays in a row, Schrader went to play action and hit a big pass downfield. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for goal. Now it's picked off. That ball never hit the ground, and Richard comes up with the interception back to the 45-yard line. A return of 22. That's a big break for San Diego.
And that was the blitz. They got the one-on-one coverage.
No score. 3:34 to go first period. And gives the ball back to San Diego at its own 45-yard line. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you from San Diego. Harmon behind Butts. Hurdles out for a couple of yards.
We talked about the fact that Bill Arnsparger might have to commit to the blitz. Watch out outside. Junior Seau is going to come. They're going to put pressure from a lot of different places. It's going to be one-on-one coverage with Richards in the middle. It's a great job by Van Horst. Now, he gets to the ball, goes up there. Look at that shoestring catch. Ah, great concentration. Look at him break on the ball. Now, does he get there too soon? Well, we don't know, because it's not going to be changed anyway. Great interception.
Marion Butts the single back in 2nd and 7. Humphreys with time, rifles complete onto the 35-yard line. Nate Lewis makes the catch. Terry McDaniel made the tackle, a gain of 16.
Nate Lewis with 23 catches coming into this ball game, but he's got an average of 14 yards. That's the big thing that they're getting out of their wide receivers. They're getting them up the field. They like to stretch the field. Great set by Humphreys, just loads it and fires. Lewis does a nice job. Terry McDaniel, probably one of the best corners in football. Going to be a real test for the wide receivers of the Chargers.
Humphreys 3 out of 4, 34 yards. Butts. Boy, he's nailed at the line of scrimmage. Winston Moss, number 99, stepped up from his linebacker spot. Take a look at that Raider defense. Howie Long may not dominate anymore, but his motor still runs at 100%. He leads the Raiders in sacks with 7.5. The Raiders need more athleticism at linebacker. Aaron Wallace, a second-round pick 2 years ago, seems ready to give it. Ronnie Lott leads the team in tackles from the strong safety spot. He has 1 interception after leading the NFL with 8 a year ago. And he said the ball is just not in very much this season. I wish it was. Humphreys over the middle, complete to Walker, the H-back / tight end, down to the 27-yard line.
You know, it's interesting. When Stan Humphreys he gets Stan Humphreys from Washington, which is the same system that you have here in San Diego. So he doesn't lose it with the transitioning quarterback either.
3rd and a yard. Humphreys on the quarterback keeper. And a flag is down. Nolan Harrison, number 74, looked like he was trying to twist Humphreys' head off.
That's why I didn't like quarterback sneaks.
Humphreys may not run that play again. Dale Hamer, the referee.
Face mask. 5 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Let's see if this is a 5-yarder or not.
Number 74 in the middle of your screen. There's the sneak. There it is. Rip it, pull it. I think he's lucky to get 15.
Well, what do you have to do to get 15?
I think that you have to actually have the helmet with the head in your hand separated from the body.
The Raiders, the 5th most penalized team in the NFL. Comes the blitz. Humphreys overthrows Lewis. Had man-to-man coverage from Lionel Washington. Ricky Ellison and Aaron Wallace were both coming. They got a break when they got the trade from Stan Humphreys, somebody Bobby Beathard has wanted for 3 years from the Raiders. 2nd and 10. And it's just starting to pay off right now. Wallace comes on the blitz again. Draw. 10, 5, touchdown. Fumble. But it is a touchdown. Holy cow.
It was not in front of him. Therefore, one of his teammates can pick it up and take it in.
John Carney for the point after. The perfect play call against the blitz to the huge Marion Butts. And even with the fumble, the Chargers have a touchdown. 91. Napoleon McCallum from the 6. And the former Navy star gets it out to the 21-yard line and no more. That end of the first quarter from San Diego, and the Chargers have jumped on top of the Raiders 7-0. 7-0 San Diego, end of the first period, and we're at Jack Murphy Stadium. The Raiders said last night their biggest concern coming into this ball game was turnovers, and the turnover was something that stopped their drive and gave San Diego an opportunity to come back.
When you don't respect a football team, turnovers don't concern you because you feel like you can make it up. They had to, we talked about this earlier, they have to respect the Chargers because they can make up the difference. They can't just expect the Chargers not to capitalize if they can the football.
1st and 10 Raiders from the 21. Back to the ground game. Dickerson cuts it outside. Flag is down, so is Dickerson after a gain of about 5. Gary Plummer and Floyd Fields made the tackle. I tell you what, he's not going to gain 1,500 yards a year for you anymore, but he can still do it every once in a while.
Not even every once in a while. I haven't yet to see him touch the ball where he has not either made a move in the hole, burst it outside.
Number 68 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Or run around the corner.
That's Bruce Wilkerson, and that's a nice move by Dickerson. But it's wiped out and becomes 1st and 20. Dickerson on the out near the 20-yard line. Sayal and Leslie O'Neal in on the tackle. 11 carries, 64 yards for number 29.
This is what happens when you have a big offensive line. They don't have to necessarily block people. They just have to get in their way. Look at the job that Smith does on Plummer. All he does is get in his way so he couldn't see. And then you can take Max Montoya, who they really missed, take Junior Seau and just turn him out. Drive him back. Let him make 10 yards down the field. That's okay.
Dickerson again. Not much this time. And San Diego's defense has gone 23 games without allowing a 100-yard rusher. That's how good they've been.
Well, Mike, if you give somebody the ball 35 times, they got a chance of getting 100 yards. So that's, you know, if it happens tonight in Eric Dickerson's case, could be a little bit different. That's if he plays well in the second half. This situation is not the situation that the wanted themselves in, 3rd and long. They know they're going to be in a zone. You know you're only going to get pressure from 4. It's going to be important that Jay Schroeder protects the ball back at his end of the field.
Marcus Allen, who is now the designated 3rd down back, is the setback. San Diego shows blitz, drops out of it. Schrader over the middle, complete to Tim Brown, very close to a 1st down. Sayal with his 5th tackle of the night along with Delton Hall.
Both quarterbacks enjoying protection. There's Bruce Wilkerson on Leslie O'Neal, who's having an outstanding year in his own right. Gets a little bit of help from Marcus Allen. Just the fact that that back is outside helps him. Great throwing lane created by the offensive line. That's something Jay mentioned to us in our meeting yesterday, Mike. He said, you know, I can't throw over these guys. Nobody can. And I'm 6'4". Right. You have to have the lanes to throw through.
Schrader seems to be very cold tonight, throwing the ball extremely well. Dickerson blocking in front, got a couple of huge blocks, cuts it outside into Charger territory at the 45. Stanley Richards shoved him out of bounds. 89 yards on 13 carries.
I want to tell you something. This statement may be a little bit premature, but if they take him out the second half and play Nick Bell, I got real questions about it. But look at him turn the corner. Say shot at him. I mean, he had the opportunity. He missed it. That's how elusive and powerful Eric still is. Watch him make the turn. Set up the block, turn on a little speed, a little dance. Whew, still pretty.
Boy, and Wisniewski gave him a whale of a block. Dickerson whacked this time as he got down to the 41-yard line. He is having a sensational first half. Hope you join us for a special Thursday at 7:45. When the New Orleans defense is just sensational. Schrader, that was tipped and Brown caught it anyway. Tim Brown to the 22. Floyd Fields made the tackle, a gain of 19. This does not look like two teams who have a combined 500 record.
This is absolutely, we are seeing some great athletic moves tonight. Richards with an interception off the top of his shoe. Watch the concentration of Tim Brown. See his eyes focus on Gilbert. The ball is tipped, coming like a spiral. All he does is stick a hand up, let it hit it, and then refocus in traffic. That's a great play. Plummer just knocks it off just enough, but Brown makes the reception.
Schrader has hit 5 of 7. Tim Brown has 4 of those catches. And back to Dickerson. Bounces off the tackle. Oh, there's a nice stop by Stanley Richard. And you mentioned it earlier. Stanley Richard has really come on. When he was in college, somebody named the Sheriff because he went out and bought one of those Texas Sheriff badges. Well, he came in late and played so badly that they started calling him the security guard.
They also called him Deputy Dog.
He didn't like either one of them.
No.
79 yards tonight, only 19 below their season's average for a game. And Bobby Ross said Richard is now playing at a Pro Bowl level. 2nd and 8. Excuse me, they're over that average. Schrader pressured this time, dumps it off to Ethan Horton. He won't get much. Stopped at the 18-yard line, Floyd Fields.
Michael, this is where, as a quarterback, you have to start thinking in different segments of the field. Now you're in field goal range. You have to be a little bit more careful where you're going to throw the football. The outsides are a bit more safe. If you try and work inside the numbers, you know there's going to be traffic. And in Jay Schrader's case, it's complicated by Bill Arnsparger wanting to be a zone defensive. He knows there's going to be 7 people back there in coverage.
3rd and 6. Schrader with time, and Brown couldn't bring it in. Just past his fingertips. This is a bend, don't break philosophy.
Really is, as you mentioned before, playing within himself very well.
Who had a 38-yarder blocked. We'll try this from 36. Just inside the left post. So the Pro Bowl kicker of a year ago connects from 36 and gets the Raiders on the board. Nate Lewis, the alternate to the Pro Bowl as a return man a year ago. Cuts it outside. Nice return by Nate Lewis to the 37-yard line. Flag down. Torn Dorn took him out of bounds.
Oh, really? A penalty on a kick? Heavens.
It's a shocker, isn't it?
I know. I'm stunned. That's the next rules they have to start taking a hard look at.
Number 50 on the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
At least it wasn't the dreaded block in the back. There's a timeout. It's 7-3. Piloted by Tom Mattis. Nice night for a blimp ride, even a better night for a football game. And we've got a good one. Eric Bieniemy in the backfield for the first time for the Chargers as they start from their own 15. Bieniemy trapped at the corners. The Raiders did a great job of stringing it out. And Aaron Wallace, the 3-year man out of Texas, who they really need in there for his athletic skills, made the stop.
This is not the kind of a defense that you can stretch and try and run. I think that you're going to be most effective offensively with a quick shot passing game and being able to try and hit the cracks between the tackles. Gunther Cunningham has got a lot of speed in his linebacker position now. And so I don't think you're going to be able to run laterally and try and create holes.
Under 8 minutes to go. First half of play. 2nd and 10. And Ronnie Lott sneaking up to cover Jefferson man-to-man. Humphreys rifles it. Jefferson couldn't come up with it at the 30.
On that play.
The Raiders have done a great job on 3rd down, second only to Dallas in the league. 4-man rush. Humphreys gets it out complete. Jefferson across the 30 for the first down. Ronnie Lott made the stop with Torn Dorn, but it's a gain of 16.
Seeing some great offensive line protection. Dave Richards on Howie Long. Locks up on him quick, stays with him a little bit, now runs him out. He talked about Howie Long. Said he's smart, he's got a lot of moves, uses a lot of stuff, and he said if you use the same cadence and signals at the line of scrimmage, Howie's going to tell you what you're doing before you do it. So you have to change up on him constantly.
Humphreys straight back. Throws the out to Bieniemy, and the former Colorado star brought down at the 39-yard.
Great year. Look at the numbers.
He's
41 receptions in the last 7 games.
Been on fire lately.
Got to get him into this thing quick.
Bieniemy breaks through a gaping hole in the line down to the Raider 43. Washington and Lott combined for the tackle, but it's a gain of 18. And Eric Bieniemy playing on a bad ankle. It didn't look like it that time.
That's what I'm talking about, Mike. You can't run laterally against a defense that has speed. But watch him hit the hole. Dave Richards does a good job. He takes Howie where he wants to. He gets some help from Broderick Thompson, excuse me. Now watch him go right up the middle. Winston Moss overruns it just a little bit. Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
San Diego looking sharp on both sides of the ball and on special teams tonight. Bieniemy again, and Howie Long in the backfield. And Joe, you just talked about anticipation.
It's unbelievable. I mean, this man is having a great, really a Pro Bowl season.
Sure
he is really playing great. Watch the quickness off the ball. You give him a chance to read. Look at him come off the ball. They try and cut him with the center, Courtney Hall. He can't get there. Howie just leaps over and makes the play. Watch number 75. See 53, Courtney Hall trying to legs. Not going to happen. Man still too quick.
He hasn't been healthy in 2 years. This is the first time he has been able to play up to that level, and he's doing it. Humphreys under pressure. What a catch by Harmon! Holy cow, what a grab! Harmon to the 1.
Watch this catch. If you want to see a great piece of athleticism, Ronnie Harmon is the big back. He's their 3rd down guy. Little crossing pattern. Humphrey just leads him. One-handed, knocks it down. Now he turns up the sideline. What a great catch. This is like knockdown. That's like a fingernail catch, not a fingertip catch. Great play.
And San Diego is going to take a time. 4:17 to go in the first half. They will have a 1st and goal when we come on. San Diego leads at 7-3.
I was standing with Al Davis on the field as everybody came out for warm-ups, and Ronnie Harmon ran by, and he said to me, now that's a guy I should have picked up. You can bet he wants him now after that big play that he just made.
It's a guy a lot of people should have picked up. He is leading the NFL in receptions by running backs. It is 1st and goal, San Diego. Butts. Touchdown, standing up.
With one arm.
John Carney for the point after. (14-3) San Diego. Marion Butts with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. 14-3 after a very impressive drive to take the lead with 4:13 to go. Marion Butts finished off an 85-yard march to put them up by 11 points.
This is some great execution. Stan Humphries makes a key play here by getting it out front. But Ronnie Harmon almost catches it with one hand, squeezes out, then tucks it away. Now it gets a great block downfield from the wide receiver. Sean Jefferson down to the 2-yard line. Great individual effort. We've seen some great individual efforts tonight by some sensational athletes.
McCallum and Wright are deep. McCallum 2 yards in the end zone. He'll bring it out. And he regrets it. Stuffed at the 9-yard line. Marquez Pope, their 2nd-round draft choice, made the tackle. NIT tip-off classic. The Raider defense trying to figure out what to do against the Charger offense that's hurt them early. Dickerson behind Smith. Ran through a tackle, then stopped by Mims as he got out to the 12-yard line. Seau was also in there, and Thornton. And now we've got some pushing and shoving after the play. Thornton going at it with Wisniewski, and Wisniewski has already lost his hat, and that's not a good sign. There have been more than a few fights between these two teams.
George Thornton, Steve Wisniewski. Now, you know something, we talk about offenses and defenses controlling a game. Right now, there's a group on the field that has to gain control, and it's the guys in the striped shirts, because there's no love loss.
Defense, personal foul, and the defense. Penalties offset. 2nd down.
Obviously, a little skirmish. There they are, your face, my face. They each have a face mask. You know something, I got to be honest with you. Well, the helmet's off, but they each had a face mask, so that's one of those occasions where it was on both sides.
Thornton, a 300-pounder out of Alabama, and talking to both sidelines about what happened. Gary Plummer trying to get the crowd to help out on 2nd. So instead of 6, it is 1st and 10.
Like I said, Mike.
It never happened.
Never happened. How Steve Wisniewski got who had his head almost taken over the helmet.
Clock running, 3:42 to go in the half. Dickerson, they'll try it again, and Dickerson stuffed as he got out to the 13-yard line. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you, along with 62,000 rabid San Diego fans at Jack Murphy Stadium. And they have seen their Chargers take a 14-3 lead.
If a defense is going to play a lot of zone against you and you're trying to get the ball up the field a little bit, be a good time to try and locate your tight end. Ethan Horton has been conspicuously missing in this 1st half.
And he's somebody they have relied on in this offense. Steve Smith will get a carry behind Dickerson, who threw a block. Out across the 20 to the 21 1st down. Now, earlier in his career, that's something you didn't see very much of from Eric Dickerson.
No, you know, it's because he was asked to run the ball so much, Mike. Not necessarily because he couldn't or didn't want to. It's just that he wasn't asked to do it. He is a complete back. He's going to be coming right at you. Number 29 on the lead block outside. Gets down low. All you have to do is tie up the defender, Floyd Fields, just a little bit.
And the Raiders have done an excellent job on the ground against San Diego, the #1 team against the rush in the NFL. But it's gotten them only 3 points so far. And Steve Smith, the player who was shaken up, and they're going to give him some smelling salt. Dickerson with a breather on that last play, getting the block. He's already rushed for 100 yards tonight, his second 100-yard game this year. Schrader, excellent protection, got it to Ethan Horton. And this guy was a great running back in college. He takes it out to the 40. A gain of 18 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Plummer and Fields on the tackle. So the Raiders on the... We're at the 2-minute mark in the first half. Hope you'll be with us at halftime. We'll have highlights of all the games with Chris Berman and an update on the condition of Dennis Byrd, who was injured today in the Jets game. Jerry Rice, congratulations with his 100th touchdown catch. Amazing.
Congratulations, Jerry. You are something special.
And Joe will be back with a first-half analysis of what has been a very well-played and intense football game here in San Diego. Schrader again with time. That one nearly picked off at the sideline by Gil Byrd, intended for Tim Brown.
You know, Mike, I think Bill Arnsparger becoming the defensive coordinator has helped Gil Byrd in particular because of his study habits and because of his anticipation of receivers' routes. See him looking back at Schrader? He watches Brown come out of his break. Now, look, he knows where the ball is going. He knows it's an out route, and he's breaking out. Schrader's looking down. He sees Brown's going to make the throw. He anticipates the route, and he's there before Brown is.
Great coverage by Byrd. 2nd and 10. Delay to Smith. Get about 5. Out to the 45. And we've got a timeout. 35 with 1:46 to go in the half. Important for them to get something on this drive. They're down 14. Boy, Schrader has had sensational pass protection. That catch made out at the 43-yard line. Alexander Wright, Gil Byrd on the tackle.
And Marcus Allen is in the game. This is the situation that he's been put in. He's their 3rd down back, also their 2-minute back.
Clock running down to 1:25. Schrader to Ethan Horton, and the tight end gets out of bounds. Gil Byrd got a hand on him, but he is very close to another first down. It's the 31-yard line.
A lot of times it's easier to try and get the ball to tight ends. Watch the tight end come across here. See how the zone is spread out and the backers are going to go back. You get the tight end in a soft spot, let him pick up the 10 yards for you and make the play. Delays a little bit under the linebackers, runs into the referee, and then out of bounds, stop the clock, close to a first down.
1:12 to go in the half. 2nd and less than a yard. Marcus Allen on the delay. He will have the first down to the 29-yard line. Blaze Winter, number 96, made the tackle.
Oh, and is he a story? Blaze Winter. Nobody wanted him. Put together a video. Went door to door, 7,000 miles. He and his wife, Angie.
They're at the Charger 34 with 1:05 to go in the half against Bill Arns' defense. Schrader throws short. Brown caught it and then lost it. Junior Seau picks it up. And he laterals. Van Horst also laterals. San Diego's football. Darren Carrington is the man who ends up with it. Holy cow, what a play. And Delton Hall was the man who caused the fumble.
You know,
Chargers trying to do something to get on the board again. Humphries hangs in the pocket and throws incomplete. Looked like Jefferson had a shot at that one. Torrin Dorn on the 44 seconds to go in the half. Draw to Harmon. Ronnie Harmon to the 15 and got out of bounds. Boy, when he touches the ball, the defense's heart just goes into its throat.
So does mine. I'm watching him. Watch the delay. Little delay up the middle. Little draw. Watch the burst right here. He sees the hold and he's gone. Ricky Elliott, they thought they had a shot at him, but they didn't. Anthony Bell reached down an arm to try and grab Anthony Miller trying to block for him, but he doesn't know where he's going.
Ronnie Lott said he reminds me of Thurman Thomas, but it's worse because Thomas is in there all the time. You can get used to him. Harmon comes in on third down and kills you. Humphries, Harmon. No. Harmon argues, but the official says no touchdown. Pretty pass.
Great defensive play, too. Find the ball, locate the ball. Aaron Wallace in coverage. He sees the ball in the air. He's got to get both feet down with control. Good call by the official. Great effort by Harmon. An excellent play by Aaron Wallace. Nice touch by Stan.
Oh, boy, that is so close.
Okay, nice play.
2
touchdown.
feet down in control. It's a touchdown. He got 2 feet down.
I think the fact that it was away from his body is the official.
Boy, that is such a tough call to make, though. And we're seeing it in slow motion. Humphries again. Lewis, he fumbles. And the Raiders recover in the end zone. And they're saying it's incomplete. Oh, if we had a couple of close calls. Holy cow.
Humphrey does a nice job of surveying the field. There's Lewis.
Oh, that's a catch.
That's a catch, and it's a fumble.
Jeez. Tough break for the Raiders.
Looks like a Tim Brown play. It happened so quick. Ball comes out. Waddle wind up on it. Doesn't matter. Third down and 10.
Well, could have been a touchdown. Could have been a turnover on 2 straight plays. Humphries will try again. Under pressure. Steps up, throws, Jefferson, touchdown! You would be hard-pressed to ask for 3 more exciting plays in a row, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and, you know, one going one, other going the other, and you wind up with a touch. I'm sure the Raiders would have preferred the third one not to be what it was. But great individual efforts tonight by different individuals.
Carney for the point after. And the Chargers have taken a 21-3 lead. Stan Humphries, 3 great throws in a row.
A lot of them.
16 seconds left in the half. Alexander Wright and Napoleon McCallum are deep. And Carney will kick it off. McCallum behind Wright, and now they'll split. They'd like to have Wright get the football with that blazing speed of his. McCallum a couple of yards deep, and he'll down it there. Let's go back to the play where Tim Brown made the catch and then had the ball stripped, and it was a fumble. Then we'll compare it with the San Diego play that was ruled incomplete.
Now there he is. He makes the catch. The ball gets stripped away. Delton Hall makes the ball's picked up. Junior Seau starts to advance it. Now let's go the other way. Stan Humphries makes the throw to Lewis. Lewis has got possession, turns, ball is stripped away. I don't see any difference.
I don't either.
Now remember, What we showed you was in slow motion. Referees don't have that opportunity to look at things in slow motion.
No, they get a heartbeat. That's about it. Marcus Allen on the draw. What a great move to get away from Leslie O'Neal. Oh, man. A great stutter step, but the clock down to 4 seconds. Raiders are going to let it run out at the third quarter from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. 66,000 very happy folks as the Raiders are being taken to task by the San Diego Chargers. 21-3, and the Raiders will kick off to start this second half. Nate Lewis and Ronnie Harmon, along with Bieniemy, the three-deep tandem. Lewis, and this one out of bounds right at the goal line, and it will be the option for the Chargers to take it at the 35.
Up out of bounds. Ball will be put in play 30 yards, the free kick line, 35-yard line.
First half stats from San Diego, and the rushing yards, the Raiders with Dickerson doing a sensational job, actually outgaining San Diego in the first half. They had 37 plays to only 24 for San Diego.
Stan Humphries made the comment. He said that I'm going to have to play the best game of my season. Receivers are going to have to play the best game of theirs. So far, they've done that, and it's reflected in the statistics. The turnovers have been the big difference. There you saw the 2 turnovers by the Raiders.
Butts gets the opening carry of the third quarter. Hammers his way into Winston Moss, number 99, the right side linebacker.
Take a look at this right here. No deeper than 15 yards. That means that Stan Humphries is getting back. He's firing the ball, and look at the completions. 3 out of 4 out to the right, 2 out of 3 to the curl, 2 out of 3 to the left side. He's staying within himself, not trying to force the ball down the field.
2nd and 5. Humphries eludes the sack. Has the first down and got out of bounds. Great job by Stan Humphries.
Now, I don't know if you call that running or long. And I say that with affection because Stan Humphries will be the first to tell you that he's not going to outrun many people. But he does do a good job of keeping the play alive. Look at 93, Greg Townsend. Comes in on Harry Swain. He's got him. Humphries showing some great strength. Spins out, still looking up the field. Manages to run out of the last tackle and pick up the first down.
Well, you're right about Stan. He is no gazelle, but he's 6'2", 225, and he can get rid of a guy like Townsend. And for the most part, these quarterbacks have had tremendous protection against very good front fours. Humphries complete to Miller. That's his first catch of the night down to the 46-yard line. And San Diego has done a sensational job of mixing up the calls. A lot of first down passes.
And you know what they've done too, Mike, is they've managed to get it to different people, so you don't know who really to focus on. Now, Ronnie Lott on the other side of the ball defensively said the one thing we cannot afford to do behind in this ballgame. This is a very big series for the Raider defense because now you're going to have to throw the ball into zones all night, and that's not something that Jay Schrader does very well.
2nd and 3 for San Diego. Butts should have another first down at the 42-yard line. And, of course, the Chargers with Butts and that big, talented offensive line and their H-back scheme can pound it at you and take a lot of time off the clock.
It's the Redskins of the West Coast. That's the best way to put it. It's the same philosophy with very similar personnel. Big offensive line, excellent tight ends that block, big guys that move who are like tight ends. Great complement of backs. Bieniemy for his quickness and speed, Butts for his power, Ronnie Harmon for anything you need him to do that'll get the ball up the field for you.
If there was a third down spot in the Pro Bowl, Ronnie Harmon would have it sewn up. Just shy of the first down.
You know, the amount of receptions he has, Mike, he should definitely be a guy who's considered anyway. I mean,
yes.
He is a halfback. He's utilized here as a third down back, but he's still a heck of a halfback. Excellent blocker, great hands, great runner. I mean, he's shown it all tonight.
And the numbers you saw, he just hasn't been in there very much and still racked up those kind of numbers. He makes an impact when he comes in the ballgame. 3rd and inches from the 42. Steve Hendrickson is in the backfield with Butts, and Humphries will go to the quarterback keeper again. And for the 2nd time in the game, Nolan Harrison is the guy who has a headlock on him.
Stan's got to have a talk with Jack Riley, the offensive coordinator. I think, you know, this week you got to sit down and visit with the offensive coordinator and say, listen, Marion Butts is, you know, 250 pounds. There he is, right in the middle. There's Jack, right there. You come up and say, Jack, no QB sneak. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Well, he needs to do what you do. Just refuse to run it.
He hasn't been here long enough. Not yet.
Play action by Humphries. Nice fake. That one's tipped. And it may have been Willie Broughton, number 97, who got the hand up. Really been impressed by Humphries tonight. He has looked very sharp.
Raider defensive line does a good job. If they can't make penetration, they get their hands up. You got to get blocking from everybody. Watch Marion Butts pick up the blitz. Look at the job he does on Ricky Ellison. I don't know who was attacking who on that one.
Oh, he paved Ricky Ellison. 2nd and 10. Ronnie Harmon in the ballgame on 2nd and 10. Harmon will get the call. Look at this. He lost yardage, maybe 6 yards after his farthest point downfield, but he sure makes it fun.
Gosh, he can make a play. I mean, you know, he ran out of 3 tackles. Finally, Terry McDaniel wraps him up and puts him on the ground. Even he can't believe it. This is real time. There's the quickness. Breaks the tackle at the line. Okay, there's one. Slides to the right. Gets through Townsend. McDaniel finally holds on to a shoestring. Even if it's taped, he's got his hands on it.
Spotted at the 44. It's 3rd and 13. Harmon stays in on the 3rd down and long situation. Good protection for Humphries. Hits Harmon. Has Walker blocking for him downfield. Stretching to get the... He's about a half-yard short. At the 32, Anthony Bell made the saving tackle.
And you can bet that the people in this stadium want him to go for it. I think Bobby Ross will. With the 21-3 lead, this is a great maturing process for your ball club. Let your offensive line step up and see what you can do. I mean, it's close enough. I doubt if you're going to call the sneak. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think this is a good opportunity. Gunther Cunningham now is going to cheer on the other side. Oh, this is terrific. Oh, I love it. Crucial part of the game. The Raiders have to stand up and make a play.
Play clock is down to 4 already.
Stan Humphries will call a timeout.
So you make the decision to go for it on 4th and inches. Then you don't get the play in time from the sideline to run it. We'll be back in a moment. Art Shell on the left, Bobby Ross on the right, and here is the challenge. The Raiders going for it on 4th and inches. Or the Chargers going for it from the Raiders, 32.5-yard line. 10:08 to go 3rd quarter.
Play action pass. Bobby Ross said, hey, look, he told Jack Riley, I don't want you to be too conservative. I like to move the ball. I think it's a great opportunity.
Marion Butts. And he plastered Ronnie Lott, who hit him in the backfield, but Lott may have stopped him anyway.
I think a play action pass would have been a much better choice.
Well, Ronnie Lott was thinking along the same lines I was.
You know, that is typical Ronnie Lott. When you need a big play, you need a big play guy to make it. Watch him fill the hole.
And they did not make it.
Number 42's comes right out of the side of your picture, slides in, slides between the guard and tackle, makes the hit, and doesn't let Marion Butts pick up the yardage.
And that's 205 against 250.
Boy, look at him. Right in the chest, he takes the shot and stops it.
Not even close.
Lost a yard.
First down.
Ronnie Lott was named defensive captain by his teammates in his 2nd year on this team. With all the veterans and all the outstanding players they have, what an honor for Ronnie Lott.
And that also tells you about the respect that the Raiders on the defensive side of the ball have for a player of that caliber.
Says he'd like to play a couple of more years. He's in great shape. He's healthy. Why not? This is the best field position the Raiders had to start with all night. Let's see if they can take advantage. Schrader step. He is gang tackled at the 35.
Take a look at how Eric Dickerson ran the ball there. 4 times to the left side for 18 yards. 4 times to the left side for 26, working behind Wilkerson and Wisniewski on that side. Breaking it off the right guard behind Wisniewski over on that side. And then outside, I mean, he spread it out very well. You don't know where to set up to defend him. 103 yards, 17 carries, had 100 in the first half.
2nd and 7. Schrader complete. Tim Brown out to the 41-yard line, couple yards shy of a first down. There's a flag down on the play. Really, you wouldn't know that the Raiders were down 21-3. They have played quite well tonight. Offensive pass interference. And Tim Brown is the injured player. Obviously in discomfort, and they have to help him to the sideline, trying to keep the weight off the left leg. You remember, as a rookie, he suffered a serious knee injury at the end of a brilliant rookie year. Took him more than a year to recover.
Makes the reception and turns. Gary Plummer makes the ball. He just lands on his ankle and rolls right over it. He just fell on his right ankle and rolled over it.
We'll try to get a report on Tim Brown for you just as soon as possible. He had taken over a starting spot in the lineup from Mervin Fernandez.
At some point, the Raiders are going to have to get away from trying to run the ball and put it in Jay Schrader's hands to try and make up some distance and some scores.
Well, they're down by 18. 2nd and 17 after the penalty. Schrader throws underneath to Dickerson. He gets it out to the 30. There is another flag down. Murphy and Plummer made the tackle. Illegal use of hands, and that one will come back. And Art Shell sees it start to come apart on him.
Yeah, he sees it start to go the other way. I mean, Jay's not going to be the kind of guy who's going to lose it. He's been through too much. So you know he's going to hang tough. He'll hold his troops together.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 65, the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Max Montoya.
Right guard, number 65, Max Montoya, gets his hands up, takes the twist. There you see the face. Now he's holding the face mask. And they'll call that, Max.
Hand to the face of George Thornton, the defensive tackle. So now it's 2nd and 27. Marcus Allen in the ballgame.
Jay only needs to pick up about 12, 13 yards of this, and he'll be in comfortable range to be able to get the rest on 3rd down.
Goes with the screen to Allen. Nice move by Marcus Allen across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Darren Carrington made the tackle there, a gain of 17. Good call on 2nd and very long.
Good call to the right guy. Sets his blocks up very well. Manages to miss a block. He again has great acceleration. They let the Chargers rush. Back into the zone. Sets it up nice. Everybody gets somebody. Montoya gets a block.
He can still make people miss, can't he?
Yep.
3rd and 10. Boy, great protection for Schrader. Allen underneath. Slips a tackle, outruns another one, dives to the 41. Ball came loose, but after he was down. And this is short by about a yard. Donald Frank made the tackle. Marcus Allen did everything he could. Great individual effort. But it's a yard shy, and they'll have to punt.
And it's a good decision, too. 7:22 to go in the quarter. You still got to hold 22 minutes of football left. You don't want to rush it. But they're going to have to stop the Chargers. The Raider defense is going to have to stop the Chargers on this particular drive if they're going to be able to make up some points.
Nate Lewis, averaging 9 points a return, waits it at 17. Gossett line drive Lewis tries to pick it up on the bounce. There is a flag down near midfield. Dan Land was downfield first after a punt of 46 yards.
Dale's been busy tonight.
Certainly is.
Holding. Number 26. After the kick. Penalized half the distance. 3-point of change of possession. First down.
So we
There-
can
well,
see him.
There, big circle
Thank
for the
you,
big
and your-
owner. There he is, Alex Spanos. Of course,
Thank you and your Etch-a-Sketch.
I had a chance to visit with him on Friday, and he said, you know, with the holiday, he couldn't go to the office. He was so nervous. He's been more nervous for this game because of the success that his team has enjoyed than any in the last 5 years. And with the smile on his face, it looks like he's really enjoying it as well.
Team is trying to win 7 of its last 8. The enemy up to about the 10-yard line.
Common sense would tell you at this point in the game, with an 18-point lead, you don't want to put the ball up down this end, utilize the clock. I don't think that fits into Bobby Ross's style of football. I think he wants to try and stretch it. I wouldn't be surprised, because the Raiders do play a matchup man-to-man defense, if they don't put the ball up the field against the press coverage.
Well, Bobby Ross has always believed you win games with passing the football. You got to have a great defense. You got to be able to run it, but you win it when you pass. An outstanding to set an ex-quarterback who wouldn't disagree. And here comes Humphries on the roll. Tried to fit it into Miller. He's out of bounds, but there's a flag down on the play. Offensive interference. Now, see, I told you you shouldn't throw the football.
I know, Coach, but, you know, we got to stretch him out. Trying to get the ball to Anthony Miller.
Pass interference. Number 88 of the offense. Penalties decline. Third down.
It's Sean Jefferson.
You
I
have
think
to
they
remember,
called the wrong guy.
well, you have to remember, defensive player has a right to hold his space and ground. You see Miller pushing with his hands, and there's no question that he pushed off of Terry McDaniel, who almost made the interception anyway.
Third down and 7. As they decline the penalty. Flags it down. It looks like the Raiders jumped offside. And the bomb just over the outstretched fingertips of Miller at midfield, and Humphries took a shot from Greg Townsend.
I like that Jack Riley thinks like I do. I mean, I think it's the best opportunity to take advantage of a defense. They've got 90 yards almost to defend. Let the corners back up and defend it. I think it's a great time to take a shot when you've got speed outside.
Offside. Defense. Nose tackle. 5-yard penalty. 2 feet, third down.
Jack Riley not holding in the reins. Anthony Miller again at the line of scrimmage. He's got Terry McDaniel. Terry tries to lean on him, tries to hold him, but Anthony Miller wins that battle. Stan Humphries just didn't quite get him the ball.
Well, Miller showed you his speed there. After the penalty, it's 3rd and 2. Humphries to throw again. What a throw and what a catch. Brian Brennan at the 19-yard line. He threw that the only place it could be complete, and Brennan, who was just picked up off of waivers from Cincinnati, hung out and got it.
Stan Humphries has made a couple of great throws away from the defenders, letting the receivers make a play. Here comes the pressure on the outside by Townsend. In Humphries' face, Brian Brennan. Why do you bring in a guy like Brian Brennan? Because he's intelligent, he's quick, he's got good hands, and he can learn a system quickly so you can use him in a hurry.
And Dan Land had terrific coverage, number 25. The enemy lowers the head, gets out across the 20 to about the 22.
Did you hear Stan Humphries saying, stay there, stay there? What is they had motion called as a part of the play. He looked up, saw the 45-second clock, saw it was down to 3. If the back went in motion or the wide receiver went in motion, would have never got the play off. That's the sign of a real mature quarterback who's totally in control of the game on the field.
And watch as they will run down the play clock as much as possible. And you're talking about the maturity of a guy who's only been playing for 3 years. He hasn't played that much in those 3 years. Humphries going to a second receiver, got to Lewis. Lewis was shoved out of bounds. Would it have counted? No. McDaniel, nice job on defense. They ruled that Lewis would not have come down in bounds.
Gives you an idea of Stan Humphries' strong arm, too. He wanted to go to a check down over the middle. Came out real late to a throw wide outside to Nate Lewis and still almost gets it there. They're working on Terry McDaniel. They're going right after the strike. Does a nice job of pivoting and working out.
And Lewis did come down out of bounds, and it was clear that I don't think McDaniel could have possibly pushed him that far. So it's 3rd and 6 for San Diego. 4:11 to go, 3rd period. Humphries under pressure, gets it out to Harmon, 1st down. That time McDaniel ended up on Harmon.
The Raiders are a defense that's back on their heels a little bit. The Charger offense right now is just letting it fly. They're not pulling in the reins at all. Harmon comes out, looks at the defense, feels the outside open, knows exactly where he has to get to for the 1st down.
Ronnie Harmon has run for 35 yards. He's caught 74 yards worth of passes. And San Diego has looked terrific tonight. Bieniemy. Their version of the counter tray. He'll pick up a couple. Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego. 62,000 have seen their Chargers take an 18-point lead. The Budweiser storyline shows Dickerson with 103 yards. Stan Humphries has just thrown some great passes tonight. Only 153 yards, but a touchdown. Total yards, Los Angeles still leads in that category. But San Diego with the 2 big takeaways and 14 resulting points. 2nd and 8 here. Humphries and Ronnie Lott couldn't come up with one at his knees. 1 interception this year after 8 to lead the league in 91.
I want to show you something here. Watch this, Mike. Stan Humphries makes up his mind a little bit to go down the middle. This movement here confused it. That guy's supposed to be over here. Watch what happens back when the wide receiver comes out. The play is snapped. Now stop it right here. Look at these guys here. Humphries has already made his mind up to go in where there are 4 Raiders. But they got confused by the movement of the wide receivers. The Raider defense did. Ronnie Lott almost with a big play.
And Ronnie Lott kicking himself because that would have been a huge turnaround. Humphries on the little roll, got it to Miller. Miller fighting for the 1st down and has it out to the 43. Lionel Washington made the tackle. You know, Humphries' numbers really belie how well he has played tonight. He has hit every big throw he has had to have. 2:27 to go, 3rd quarter. They are eating up the clock on the Raiders.
Not only that, it's hard to come back in a ball game when you run 3 plays in a quarter and the other teams run 18.
They're just hanging on to it. Even if they never score on this drive, they've accomplished their goal. Butts back in. He'll get the carry. Marion Butts dragging Ronnie Lott down to the 47-yard line. Terry McDaniel also got a free ride, and the offensive line of the Chargers now firing out.
Now is when you take a look at what the counter tray or counter gap. It's got a lot of different names. It originally started as the counter tray. The off tackle and off guard make the move. A lot of people focus on the tackle and guard coming across, but the key block is by the center to prevent chasing by the off end. So Courtney Hall is a very important play in that particular run.
1st and 10 Chargers. Butts again, straight up the middle against a good defensive line down to the 39. And now you can see why the Chargers have won 6 of their last 7, and people are saying this is a legitimate playoff team.
They haven't made mistakes with the football. They protected against the turnover, and their defense has made. That's the key that Bobby Ross has tried to drive home. Details, little things will help us win football games.
This drive, 5.5 minutes already. 55 yards. 2nd and 2 from the 38. Only 48 seconds to go, third quarter. Harmon is in. Cuts it outside. Got a block, got away from Lott, and is very close to another first down at the 42.
You know, if I'm a defensive back, I just don't know where he's coming out. He starts to the right, and all of a sudden you tackle him over by the other side numbers.
Now, the officials will stop the clock with 28 seconds to check for a measurement.
I think he made it. I think he made it. What, 1 for 1 this year?
I think you are.
And that man is not very pleased.
21-3. And Art Shell knows you can't score unless you have the football.
Plus his defense has got to be getting tired.
Must be. They're short. You're 1 for 2. I'm 1 for 1. But I cheated. I took a while to study. The Raiders were really upset in the last couple of weeks with the stuff going around about Art Shell not really being the coach of this football team, that it's Al Davis. And the Raiders say to a man that Al Davis is the managing general partner, and it's an insult to say that Art Shell is just his gopher, and I have to agree with it.
I do too. I think that Al Davis tries the best he can to get the players on the field, and he allows Art Shell to make decisions what to play.
3rd and inches. They go with a quarterback keep again. Stan Humphries.
I guess I just didn't weigh enough. That was all it was.
Well, Stan's 225. You never approach that. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. The fans are on their feet in San Diego.
This holiday, give him a gift that will help bring you a little closer. The revolutionary Gillette Sensor.
When regular drills hold you back, send in the Ranger cordless drill from Black & Decker. It goes anywhere to handle all the tough jobs. No strings attached. The Ranger cordless drill, a powerful gift idea from Black & Decker.
Until now, some thought imports wrote the book on handling, but change is just around the corner. Introducing the Cadillac Eldorado Touring Coupe with the North Star system. Its advanced road sensing suspension reads the contours of the road automatically and adjusts instantaneously to put the fun back into driving. The Cadillac Eldorado Touring Coupe with the North Star system, changing the way you think about American automobiles.
Think all camcorders are the same? Look again. 2 lenses. Introducing the Sharp Twin Slim Cam, the world's only VHS camcorder with 2 built-in lenses. It shoots normal and new super wide. It has an instant zoom and Sharp's exclusive picture-in-picture. All on regular VHS tapes that play in your VCR. So take a second look. 2 lenses in the Sharp Twin Slim Cam, the world's smallest, lightest full-size VHS camcorder. The Sharp Twin Slim Cam.
America's Dream Team. John McEnroe, Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, Jim Courier. The champions will be crowned at the Davis Cup Finals, December 4th through the 6th, live on ESPN.
$15 to go, and the Chargers with a 21-3 lead over the Raiders from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Along with Joe Theismann, this is Mike Patrick. The aerial shots tonight from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle out of Carson, California. Tom Mattis is the pilot, and they're split 50-50 on who they're rooting for upstairs. Of course, I guess if you don't like who the other guy is rooting for, you just toss him out of the blimp.
With his pennant.
Yeah. Hey, see how well you fly with us? Chargers, 14th play coming up in this drive. Ronnie Lott right at the line of scrimmage. Backs out. And Humphries for 6. Brennan can't get there, and he had a man all over him. Dan Land. Looked like Land may have gotten more of his share of bumping and pushing.
Well, the ball's thrown a little bit inside. Brian Brennan tries to make on it, and all of a sudden he doesn't have feet anymore. See him turn? He tries to make a play, then his arm gets hooked and pulled down. Now, I don't know who's looking at anything, but that was incredible.
Yeah, I'd say that's interference.
And I would say the officials, I mean, have not had a great night tonight. I think they've struggled a little bit with some calls here.
Dan Lamb got away with a big one. 2nd and 10. Humphries fakes the hit. This for Miller. There is a flag. Great coverage by Lionel Washington. 2 flags down in the secondary.
It's going to be defensive holding because Stan Humphries wanted to go up top to the right on a pump and go. And when the receiver started to break up field, they weren't going to let him go. Terry McDaniel was not going to let Nate Lewis go. Sorry.
Excuse me? And Bobby Ross has the same expression that Stan Humphries and you have on their face. Are you?
See Bobby's point and say, come on, guys.
Number 36 for the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, I just pointed the wrong way.
The difference is I know what I'm talking about. Obviously, the officials are having a little trouble with it. Watch here, number 36. This is a pump and go. Quick post go. Terry McDaniel, he knows he's beat. Now, that's a good defensive play. I got to be honest with you, because if he doesn't do that, that's a touchdown. So that's a good defensive play by
Only cost you 5 yards. But it is an automatic first down just outside the 30. And the clock continues to wind. But San Diego may be working on the only drive in pro football history that lasts 2 quarters.
You believe the Raider offense has not been on the field but for 3 plays in a little over 16 minutes. And that man would not want to get away.
Eric Dickerson can't carry the ball if the defense is still on the field. This drive, 7:22 already. And they're only at the 25-yard line. But again, and the Raiders really crowding the line of scrimmage and playing run on that play.
The Raiders are going to challenge Stan Humphrey to put the ball in the air. If it's complete, the clock won't stop because remember, we're not inside of 5 minutes yet. Excuse me. They'll start the 45-second clock as soon as the ball hits the ground. Jay Schrader, I mean, he's gotten so cold he's put a jacket on and a hat. Now that's the starting quarterback. This is not a guy who's standing around on the sidelines. That's your starting quarterback with a hat and a jacket on.
17th play of the drive. 7-man line for the Raiders. Humphries to throw under pressure. Got away from Long. Picked off. Torn Dorn with the interception. There's the turnover the Raiders desperately need, and this impressive, long-lasting drive finally comes to an end with no points for San Diego.
14-yard line.
Humphries with his first big mistake of the night. It's turned the ball over to the Raiders.
Take a look at this play. Torn Dorn makes the interception. Watch Howie Long. He's the one that really causes the problem for Stan Humphries. Makes him throw off balance. The ball's a little bit late. Now Dorn gets the interception. But Howie Long deserves a little bit of an assist on that, and Stan Humphries thinks, why? Why did I do that? I know I'm going to sit in the meeting, and they're going to tell me I shouldn't have done it, and I know it.
This is only the second possession for the Raiders this half. That drive went 8 minutes and 24 seconds, and they need 3 touchdowns. Marcus Allen on the delay. Ran into his own man, center Don Mosbar, and then was brought down by Junior Seau. We have a special edition of Thursday night. Hope you join us 8 o'clock. It all starts with the NFL tonight at 7:45. That's this Thursday. Schrader, Mims. Chris Mims with his 9th sack of the year.
Here's a guy who in June could only bench press 225 pounds 5 times. Now he's up over 315. And the reason why is he felt like he just wasn't strong enough late in the game to be able to handle linemen. Proves that he is.
3rd and 9. Schrader has to run for it. And he'll get the first down and get out of bounds. Now, this goes back to what you were referring to earlier. Even though he got out of bounds to stop the clock, when they mark the ball ready for play, they'll start the clock again.
That's right. It doesn't matter until you're inside of 5 minutes.
12 yards. Raiders first down.
If you're a Raider fan, this stat won't do you much good. The Raiders have not done very well at all in the fourth quarter. 25th in the league with only 34 points. They need 21 to win. Schrader wants the screen. Flag is down. Marcus Allen out to the 36-yard line, but this one will come back. It looked like Reggie McElroy, the right tackle, was holding.
Offense, red penalty, still first down.
And Al Davis may see his team fall to 2 games under 500 and probably out of playoff contention if they lose this ball game.
Well, they got a shot at these Chargers again in the next to last game of the season. But they've also got some tough games coming up. One against Miami, who's going to need everything they can to keep pace with Buffalo.
Schrader throws complete. Gil Bird makes the tackle on Alexander Wright. The AFC standings as they are right now, Kansas City with the lead, Denver, of course, playing tomorrow night, and Kansas City with the best divisional record at 5-1. San Diego would go to 7-5 with a win tonight and 3-3 in the division.
Denver's got their work cut out for them going into Seattle to play, because even though they haven't been able to score on offense, Mike, they have been playing excellent defense.
They showed us some sensational defense last week. Schrader wants the screen again to Allen, just over O'Neal's outstretched hand. Allen almost goes down about a yard shy of the first down. And Marcus Allen showing again tonight he can still get it done.
He made that move a little too far away, got his feet out from underneath of him, wound up falling short of the first down. Jay does a good job just to get this off. O'Neal takes an outside rush this time, almost gets a finger on it. Now as Marcus starts up, he makes the move just a little far away. This is a very fast track. There's not a lot of grass out there, so this is a fast field.
Call it 2. Schrader, Allen can't come up with it. He was hit as soon as he touched the ball by Delton Hall, and now they push and shove at each other. Delton Hall, a big acquisition from Pittsburgh, Plan B.
He fits into that mold of the safeties, Mike. 6'1", 210 pounds.
And Art Shell says we got to go for it.
Schrader move in the pocket, not his strength. Marcus Allen trying to make a play. Delton Hall just talking. Marcus not taking any of it.
4th and 2 with 10 minutes to go in the ballgame. The Raiders have to go for it, down by 21-3. Schrader just trying to stay alive, and they got it. Sacked by Blaze Winter.
The ugliest sack dance in football.
We've got a timeout in San Diego. We'll be back in a minute. Chris, thank you very much. And the San Diego Chargers have several players of the day they'd like to nominate tonight. Marion Butts hammers down to the 12.
On that last play, you're going to see Schrader try to go to Marcus Allen. He's going to try and sneak him into the middle. Mitchell actually gets in his way. And as Jay starts to scramble around, he just can't find anybody open because of the pressure of that defensive front 4 of the Chargers. As he moves and moves, now Marcus is out of the play, but great coverage. Just great coverage by the secondary people, that Charger defense. There's the Blaze man. He says, I have a purpose.
Butts behind Walker. Wrapped up by Willie Brock. San Diego working on the clock, 8:58 to go. When Bobby Ross left Georgia Tech, he had shared a national championship only a couple of years ago. Said it was a tough decision. He came to a franchise that hadn't been in the playoffs in 10 years, one winning season since '82, the second worst record in the conference, and the worst record in the NFL in the last 70 games, and he's turned it around. Third and 1, Butts, first down. Ronnie Lott stood him up with some help at the 7.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. When you look at this offensive line of the Chargers, Eric Moten was somebody that Bobby Beathard took a couple years ago who's really started to develop into a good left guard at 302 pounds. Harry Swain out of Rutgers, Plan B out of Tampa Bay in '91, he's starting to play better. Courtney Hall, an excellent center out of Rice. David Richards out of UCLA, another 300-pounder. And then you go to Broderick Thompson on the right tackle spot. And Dwayne Young at 260 at the tight end. You're getting yourself a lot of young guys who are big and can move people out.
First and goal. Butts. Flag down at the 5. And this will be a hold against San Diego.
Holding, number 70 of the offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
You know why this is not a good penalty for the Raiders? Because it gives the Chargers more distance to eat the clock up, and it gives them another down to eat it up. Each down is worth 45 seconds to the Chargers. So they just gave them back almost a minute off the clock.
And they just started winding the clock again, which is down to 7:35.
So in this case, a holding penalty doesn't hurt you, it helps you. And that little, and there's the, watch him take this thing, he'll take this thing down to about 4 seconds before he snaps it.
Butts ran a trap inside, and Butts to the 10. And Lott with a little pushing and shoving with Broderick Thompson, and that's not a great matchup for Ronnie Lott.
Jack Riley calling the plays with the right hair right in the middle. Gentleman with the white hair. This is the wham. You see Walker come in and take on the nose tackle. Gunter Cunningham, the defensive coordinator of the Raiders, trying to come up with some way to stop this offense. It's been like a landslide all night.
Butts, 15 carries, 71 yards. Got maybe one more as Anderson and Lott came up in a hurry. But the Chargers could care less at this point. They're just grinding down the clock. It'll be an easy field goal range for Carney.
You know something? It's not good for the Charger offense just to sit here and not try and put points on the board. Because remember, tiebreakers come into play. They've got to play the Raiders. They're a division team. I think they'll try and put it in the end zone. And you got Butts in the backfield now with the 3 wide receiver look. Something a little.
Nice play fake by Humphrey. Had Lewis wide open, couldn't find him, then throws for Miller, incomplete. Nate Lewis was wide open in the flat, and Humphreys was looking toward the end zone.
Quarterbacks do that, Mike. I have to tell you, it's a disease. It's a disease. A lot of times you don't see the guy 5 yards away. All you see is the guy in the paint. Good play fake right here. Holds the defense, gets everybody, Winston Moss flowing the other way. This is a tough back across his body, but Miller showing great discipline coming back to the ball. I'll tell you, Terry McDaniel has done a great job tonight. They've been picking on him one-on-one. One of the best corners in football, and he showed it. Of course, he and Anthony Miller were teammates at Tennessee, so he should know him pretty well.
Carney on for a 27-yard field goal. They took 4:08 off the clock, even though they only gained 10 net yards. Carney makes it a 24-3 San Diego lead. So now up by 21 points. They have been extremely impressive tonight. How about the Charger critics who say, well, it's a product of a soft schedule?
Well, it is a product of a soft schedule, but if you're a Charger fan, you have to realize, and when I talked to Bobby Beathard, he drove this point home to me, we earned our fifth-place schedule. They didn't just give it to the Chargers, they earned it. They're not going to be in a fifth-place schedule situation next year for us to become a much better football team.
And as we get ready for the kickoff, we have just had an idiot run onto the field. Somebody out of the stands celebrating a little bit too early. He's going to run by the player in a second and end up flat on his back. We don't show this, but we wanted to tell you why the delay was, and two security guards just made a nice tackle. So he'll be celebrating in the pokey for the next few hours. The story of the second half is ball possession. 17-34 for the Raiders.
This game got out of hand. Well, this game got out of hand when the Raiders started turning the football over. Right at the end of the half, they had a good drive going, turned around, and this thing got out of hand for them. Instead of going in 14-3, you go down 21. Makes a world of difference in your thinking coming out approaching the second half.
Jay Schroeder, even though the offense put only 3 points on the board, threw the ball very well tonight. Alexander Wright from the goal line. And the Chargers special teams do it again. Bobby Ross said the most significant improvement on our team was on special teams. Left to go in the game. The Raiders have started at their own 9 twice. They're 22 and they're 20 in the second half. San Diego's done a great job on special teams. And Vince Evans is the new quarterback. And Blaze Winter will be after him now. Evans, the 13-year veteran out of USC. His first action of the season. Hit as he throws, incomplete. Blaze Winter hit him in the end zone.
Blaze Winter playing like a man possessed. Of course, that's the way he got his job. He just was relentless in trying to get back on the field. The reason Vince Evans is playing is elevated to the number 2 position is because Art Shell wanted all available veterans for the stretch run. He didn't think Todd Marinovich had enough playing time or really enough maturity to be able to handle that position.
Evans has the pocket collapse on him, throws complete. Ethan Horton out at the 23. Donald Frank makes the tackle. Excuse me, that was Alexander Wright, not Ethan Horton. Evans still with the mobility. Nearly had that one picked off. Junior Seau got his hands on it. Couldn't hold it.
Junior Seau, a great linebacker. Todd Marinovich, a young man who still has a lot to learn, is in the 3rd-string position for the rest of the season.
Now, how tough is that psychologically on him to be elevated to the starting? And when you come out, you don't go to number 2, you go all the way to number 3.
He wasn't ready to be number 1, and I think he realizes that, and the Raiders do. He's going to take some time to grow and mature. Had a chance to visit with him a little bit on the sidelines. I said, how you doing? He said, I'm okay. He realizes that there's a lot to learn, and he's got a lot of football ahead of him.
Evans got it to Tim Brown out at the 34 near the 35-yard line, close to another first down. Van Horst made the tackle. The Raiders, with their errors, the blocked field goal, and this is really more of San Diego's defensive intensity than the Raider bumbles. The interception was a great individual effort on San Diego's part. There was the fumble, of course, and a strip on that play. Delay to Nick Bell. Ball game for the first time. Didn't fool anybody.
Junior Seau with a big play.
George Thornton was there too.
And number 55. You know, it's interesting. Junior Seau this year has said something. He said, you know, I used to just study game films. Now I study game films. I study practice films. He said, and I even study films of the great linebackers in the game. Guys like Lawrence Taylor and Mike Singletary. He said, I feel like I can utilize the ability that a Lawrence Taylor possesses and the mental abilities of a Mike Singletary to become a complete linebacker.
4th and 2. The Raiders, of course, have to go for it. Evans throws incomplete at the sideline, and San Diego will take over for the second time in this game on downs, and a huge smile from defensive coordinator Bill Arnsparger. Raiders losing to the San Diego Chargers 24-3. We only have 3 left to go in this ball game. San Diego has just taken over on downs.
And as I draw this line, that is the second half possessions for the Chargers. 3 times. Had a 17-play drive here, 8 minutes, and wound up with an interception.
Nearly 18 minutes on those 3 possessions. And here they go again. The enemy breaks one. Anderson and Wallace makes the tackle at the 12.
You know, Mike, this is going down the run here. Bert Grossman hasn't played tonight. He's on 2 bad ankles. This game gives him a chance to get more healthy. Eric Bieniemy for the last 3 weeks has been on a bad ankle. This gives him a chance. And Gunther Cunningham still hasn't figured out how to try and stop him. But when you take a look at their remaining schedule, they go at Phoenix, then they get Cincinnati here, the Raiders in Los Angeles, and of course, they have to go up to Seattle. Not the toughest schedule, but you still got to go out and play these teams and beat them.
They could become the first team to ever start 0-4 and make the playoffs. Now, they're on their way to a 7-5 record. And with that schedule, could conceivably be 11-5. And the Chargers will not have to snap the ball again until we get down to the 2-minute warning. Bobby Ross has been a winner wherever he has gone. He is a man who is very attentive to detail. He has surrounded himself with a very good coaching staff, Bill Arnsparger being the highlight in that. And Bobby is going to win wherever he coaches as long as he has an opportunity. And Bobby Beathard will give him the chance in San Diego. 2 minutes to go from Jack Murphy Stadium. We'll be back in a minutes to go from San Diego, where the Chargers in total command, 24-3. Over the Raiders, and Los Angeles has seen maybe its season slip down the drain tonight. They will go to 5-7 with a tough remaining schedule. That's a big hole to dig their way out of. All smiles with the light, and why not? They've had a sensational game. Long may have jumped. This is Bieniemy. Won't get past the 11-yard line.
I think that's a fair assessment. Howie Long may have jumped. I think he anticipated that one.
Offside. Defense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
But it shows you something about Howie Long, doesn't it? Down 21 points with 1:56 to go, trying to anticipate and make something happen. That shot from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, piloted by Tom Mattis from Carson, California. And that's one of those new Ginchi-looking blips with a new paint job.
Oh, Ginchi. Ginchi, huh? Still says what it says on it. Goodyear, number 1.
2nd and 5. Bieniemy couldn't get outside. Anderson turned him in to Nolan Harrison.
Now, this is a situation, Mike, where the Raiders really have to sit down and do some soul searching. Each one of the guys has to look at themselves and say, what could I have done to make a difference? That's what Art Shell's going to have to ask his ball club to do. They're too veteran to let it slip away. They're going to fight out the season. This is not a ball club that's going to roll over and not play hard. But he's got some guys that have to look at themselves. And the one thing about the Chargers that everybody has said is this is an unselfish ball team. Receivers blocking, running backs doing what they have to.
Bieniemy just making sure he protects the ball, gets down to the 3. Sports Center, of course, following our broadcast from San Diego. We'll be back with you on Thursday night from New Orleans. Chance to see a great Saints defense, and listen to this crowd. They are pumped. They don't beat the Raiders very often, and they haven't beaten them in 10 years when it meant anything. Tonight, it really meant something.
This game was no longer for pride. This one had a purpose, and the purpose was to win. And Al Davis has said it, hey, just win, baby, but it's not going to happen tonight.
Down to 34 seconds. And it's been a long night for Al Davis. Carney is on for a field goal. They will take a delay. They'll let the clock run all the way down to 25. Now they take a timeout. So we've got a stoppage of play, commercial, and be right back to San Diego. Now 25 seconds to go. Bill Arnsparger congratulating some of his defensive players. They held the Raiders to 3 points tonight. Blaze Winter had a sack, nearly another sack, and his typical intense game. Junior Seau. There is some talent on this team, and they have played together under Arnsparger's scheme very well.
And offensively, if you're a coach, you have to look at the balance of the running and passing. 164 yards throwing tonight, just 169 rushing. Perfect balance on the offensive side. Great execution on the defensive side.
Carney for the field goal to make it 27-3. A 21-yard attempt, and it's good. If you're interested in what teams are in the wild hunt right now, we've eliminated the divisional leaders. Here are the top teams for the wild card. Miami at 8-4, game behind Buffalo. Denver 7-4. They play tomorrow night at Seattle. Houston is 7-5. They will go against Chicago in their next game. San Diego is going to go to 7-5, but in the head-to-head, they would lose to Houston because Houston has beaten them this year. Cleveland 6-6. They next play at Cincinnati, and somehow Bill Belichick getting it done in Cleveland.
Great job of coaching. Of course, Bobby Ross here in San Diego. Bill Belichick, again, Bill Belichick is not going to be beat defense. He, Arnsparger, probably two of the best in the game today. Story of Eric Dickerson has been the story of the season for the Raiders. First half, 16 carries, 100 yards. Second half, 1 carry, 3 yards. But don't blame this one on Art Shell.
That's right.
Blame this one on Bobby Ross.
Because Bobby Ross had his team keep the ball the whole second half. Carney to tee it up with 21 seconds to go. As we said, the Chargers, with their remaining schedule, have a chance to go to 11-5. The Raiders have a tough schedule.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Chargers react with prosperity. They've had to deal with adversity so long. It's always interesting to see how a team reacts the other way.
Alexander Wright at the 2. And again, the special teams do a tremendous job. Hope you'll be with us Thursday night. We'll have an NFL special for you from the Superdome in New Orleans. The Falcons, who have a shutout today, will go against the New Orleans Saints, who go for a shutout every week. It all starts with the NFL tonight at 7:45. That's Thursday night.
Not only did the Falcons have a shutout, but they posted 34 points. They'll bring that red gun in and spread it out against that great defense of the Saints.
Chuck Prefer, the special teams coach, and his club has had quite a night. They got it started blocking a field goal. A big momentum turnaround in the first quarter. 6 kickoffs. LA has not gotten the ball outside the 20-yard.
Out away how I had such a good half. Stan Humphrey on the other side will talk about that one interception that he threw.
Nick Bell will get the final carry of the ball game, presumably out to the 24-yard line. We're down to 9 seconds, and now we got a fight. Reggie McElroy, number 77, went out after Chris Mims. They were up to... And Bobby Ross has had his club win 7 of its last 8 games. The hottest team in the AFC. They go to 7-5, shooting for the playoffs for the first time in a decade. Our final score. The San Diego Chargers 27, the Los Angeles Raiders 3.
You say it'll